Watch me recreate Sex and the City characters in The Sims 4 while I give my hot takes about them. Part 2. The second character I'm recreating is Miranda. Miranda is another fan favorite because she's quite relatable to most of us modern women. She has funny, sarcastic one liners, and I don't know, she's just real as fuck to me. However, I will say that Miranda's fatal flaw is her cynicism. I feel that Miranda is a realistic character, which I personally can relate to, but sometimes it veers into the category of pessimism that only serves to drag others down. Like when Steve had that opportunity to do some sort of like half court basketball shot or something for money, or I think it was for money. I don't know. I'm not into sports, so I don't really know what that was about, but she kind of acts like this whole thing is ridiculous, which like it is, obviously. He's just some guy, like how is he going to do a half court basketball shot? Like even a lot of professional basketball players struggle with that kind of shot. And I get it because I'd probably, feel the same way if I was in her shoes. But the difference is that Steve was her partner and he was clearly excited about this. As a partner, responding to bids for attention is really important. If you were really excited about something and your partner seemed apathetic, if not judgmental in response, that would really hurt. Luckily, by the end of the episode, she learns to support Steve's goal, even though it was unrealistic and he ultimately didn't end up making the half court shot. However, this is not a defense of Steve, so don't confuse it as such. I fucking hate Steve. There was that whole thing when he was like, we should have a baby. And Miranda, knowing how immature Steve was all like, no, that would be a terrible idea because you would have a baby, but I would end up being the one taking care of it all the time. And Steve acted like this was just another instance of Miranda being overly cynical. Um, I think I remember at some point he literally was like, oh, I hope our baby doesn't inherit your cynicism or like inherits my optimism or something like that. I don't remember, but something along those lines, which feels a little mean spirited if you ask me. But at the end of the day, she was literally right. When they had a test run of sorts with the puppy they got, Miranda was up all night from the puppies crying while Steve was fast asleep. So even though Miranda can be bitchy at times, she's almost never wrong and she's real as fuck. I love how realistic she is, and I think she's a well written character. So, are you a Miranda?